Game over.
And what is up? Welcome back. It is Friday night, and you're here with another awesome podcast by your boys here at the Average Boys Podcast. It's your boy Crispy, and I'm here with my boy Brian. Brian, what is up, my dude?
Yo, what is going on, everyone? Dude, it's been a long week, man. How's your week been?
It has been
a long one.
It has been definitely a week. It's been pretty chill. I mean, really not much. I'm starting to, get more out there right now with my graphics design stuff. Got a lot of stuff coming up. Got some projects. Did a really cool event last week. Got to go interview some really great people, put all that stuff online. I hope everybody got to check it out. We got to do interviews with Victor Rivers from Blood In, Blood Out. Dave Silva from Mayan AE, which is a Sons of Anarchy television show. Jorge Chapa, which is another great individual that's an actor that's up there, actually close to where you live. So we're going to get you guys hanging out soon. Maybe get you guys to go get some food and have a sit down and chat.
And I promise you, I will not take him to an Applebee's. I can guarantee that. For all the listeners. Don't take him to an Applebee's, man. Take him somewhere authentic.
Yo, what's up, Robert? How you doing, man? I hope you're doing good in the comments, man.
Rob, what's goody, my guy?
Yo, I have to ask, what's authentic over there in your area, though? Like, where do you take people?
Pizza, bro. You guys haven't lived life until you had pizza over here. Period. Hands down.
Or what is it, Jersey?
And like a breakfast sandwich. Those are the two things, the two staples. Got to get you a breakfast sandwich.
What consists of a breakfast? I know like eggs and shit. Like, don't fucking pull like, what's a breakfast sandwich?
All right.
Like, what do you guys do?
So just think about it like this. When you come over here, you have to try certain things, right? And it may seem dumb to you, but these are the things that are the best on the planet, right? Number one, bagels. We have the best bagels over here, hands down. It's not even worth arguing.
Bagels.
We have the best bagels, all right? Number one. Number two, we have the best pizza. Again, don't argue with me about this. You won't find anything better than over here.
What would it be like? Is it like the deep dish, or is it like
deep dish? No, we don't do deep dish over here, my guy. That's like some Midwest shit. We don't do that over here. All right, we get the fucking either a grandma's or like a New York style or something Brooklyn style, something along those lines, if you will, right? And then last but not least, you have to get breakfast sandwich, preferably with Taylor ham. And yes, it is Taylor ham for everyone that's listening. I call it Taylor ham, so you can kiss my ass. But you have to get a Taylor ham breakfast sandwich. It is literally game changing.
Excellent, man. I got to make sure we get that going on. I've never heard of that stuff. So I mean, of course, like when you come to the Valley, I told you the next time we're gonna get you some tacos and get you some real good shit. Last time it was out of our control. We ended up meeting Applebee's because it's the closest to our house. But
whatever, man.
Yeah. You're like, fuck that noise. Now we're gonna take you somewhere good next time. But for sure, we got to do barbecue, man, because barbecue is the other thing that's it's a big thing down here in the Valley. So got to make sure we get that to you. So hopefully soon, man. Hopefully soon. How was your week, bro?
Honestly, it wasn't anything to write home about. I'm glad it's over. For some reason, it just seemed like, Monday was like a really long day for me. I don't even know why, but it was. But dude, finishing packing, excited about the move. Got new space, new things that I want to do. So got a lot to look forward to. Like I'm planning on bringing in the new year in a way better space. So looking forward to it.
Anything weird? I mean, we saw that in the news recently. There was that girl that they brought back. How do you feel about that stuff? They're finally bringing that back. That actress, not actress, but a basketball player.
Oh, Brittany Griner.
Yeah. You heard about it, right?
Yeah,
I heard that there's a
yeah,
lot. I
I
was
heard
like,
about
did you
it.
ever say actress? I was like, the actress.
You were all over the place on that one.
I'm telling you, man, it's been a day for
Yeah,
me, man.
it's
How
all
do you
good.
feel about that? Like they're gonna bring this girl back?
Yeah, man. Listen, I wanted her back just like everybody else, but there was just something uneven about that trade. Like I again, I did want her home, but delivering some guy called the Merchant of Death, that's just
That's the guy's nickname.
saying that out loud is just a wild thing to say to yourself. But yeah, man, I don't know.
It's a little
Like,
bit weird.
what do you think?
I
What
don't
do you
know, man.
think?
When I had heard about it, it was like someone was like, "Oh yeah, man, Nicolas Cage, God of War, and this girl's coming back home." And I was like, "Oh, okay, well that doesn't sound too bad." I don't know why Nicolas Cage is a part of it. Vin Diesel is a part of it, apparently too, because apparently he did like a photo of him at a basketball game giving like a thumbs up or something, and he's like, "Yo, I want this girl back before Christmas," and everyone was like, "Oh shit!" Like that got these guys over there really scammering because Vin Diesel wanted her back home, and that's kind of funny. Like the memes, the memes. That's how I hear about news nowadays, is meme based. But to know that it's because that they, when I heard about it, when I got the thorough news, and I was like, "Yo, so they gave the gun merchant guy that the movie God of Lord of Wars, Nicolas Cage's movie, is about, that they wanted him back in Russia." And this is the person that they switched over. I was like, what in the fuck, dude? Like, that's crazy. That doesn't make any sense. But yeah, all right. Like, okay. I mean, yeah, it's like you said, like, I'm happy this person's like not in prison in another country that's like war torn with the Ukraine people right now. But the statute of limitations on who they're switched out with was a little weird. Like, we could have got her and like, I don't know, like a fucking large pizza.
This is a fucking. It was just, yo. You know what the funny part is? They would have released her within like a year anyway, bro. They weren't going to keep her those 9 years, so? Dude. Yeah, dude. They were bluffing. They were bluffing. They were fucking bluffing, and they ended up getting the Merchant of Death in return for her. They were like, Putin was like, bro, I was gonna give her back anyway, but since you want to fucking jump out the window and offer the Merchant of Death,
if you want to do this shit,
I don't know if you guys have realized, but I'm knee deep in a fucking war over here. So if I can get my fucking arms dealer out of jail, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Yeah, you guys can have the basketball player. Yeah, you guys can have the basketball player.
Yeah, okay. Wild. So the other thing that happened this week, of course, we do got some conversation. We're going to be talking about DC. There's a lot of stuff they're moving around in DC right now, and some things that got moved around from Marvel. But we also had the Game Awards that went off this past week. We had Elden Rings win Game of the Year, and we had God of War win a couple of stuff. I was a real big fan of God of War, so I'm happy that it won. We saw a really badass trailer for Tekken 8. But the other thing that I was really impressed with this past week coming out of the Game Awards stuff was we saw a trailer for Last of Us 2, which came out earlier this week, which I don't know if you got to see it. If you want, we could check it out in a little bit, but that trailer looks nice. It looks,
you know what? And unfortunately, I have failed everyone. I have failed my homework. I did not do my homework. I did not see the trailer. And what's weird, what's even more lazy about it is that Rob, our good friend Rob, actually posted it. He put it right in the chat, and I just did not take a look at it. So that's on me. But I am a huge fan of the game, both games, and I am looking forward to seeing this movie. But I kind of told you off mic, I was like, listen. Maybe subconsciously, I didn't check out the trailer because I just don't want it to look bad. Maybe subconsciously, I'm just like, I don't want to see this. Like, I'm going to see it, though.
Do you think it's because of the fact on how Hollywood has been doing these, like, interpretations of video games and films? And
I think that's what it is. Like, I just want to hold on to what I, like, hold near and dear to me, like, as long as I possibly can before fucking Hollywood fucks it up. So
that's a really cool subject, because I remember back in the day, like, when we would talk about it, like, I was always, like, a gatekeeper for a lot of, like, the Marvel films, right? And, like, the comic book stuff, where I wanted it to have that respect for the resource.
Yeah.
And nowadays, I think I just heard last week where, like, Marvel was saying, like, well, we don't give a fuck. We're not really hiring people that are fans of the original material or whatever. And I was like, what are you doing, dude? Like,
yeah, what changed? What changed you from that stickler to a more lax guy? Because because the
yeah,
gate,
know how hard I was
yo,
I
the
like a
gatekeeper, Chris, is toxic as fuck, and I love that, Chris, bro. I love arguing with him. That's
I'm
awesome.
still there, but it's just one of those things. Like, we're a part of a boat that already went sailing, and now the only thing is we wait for it to sink, which is literally what I felt would happen in Phase 4. And now they're over here trying to take all the water out and try to patch the holes and go back to what we were talking about.
Yo, you really thought fucking Kevin Feige was gonna take too many L's, bro? He was like, bro, let's not get beside ourselves. He's like, yo, I'm just catching my wind, bro.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, I'm catching my wind, bro. But I'm coming back. Like, I'm Kevin fucking Feige. Like, what do you think this is?
I think it's very important, and I know exactly what you're feeling when it comes to like this IP, where you're like, you know what, I'm holding on to the game because the game's a masterpiece. You know, it won Game of the Year. It was super fantastic. I loved people. Like, it was enough that when they brought out part 2, people were willing to like fucking riot if they were to change the story super hard.
Yeah.
And there was some changes that were made, but it wasn't enough to break the franchise, and people still played part 2. Was it as accepting as part 1? I don't think so. The first film or the first game felt very organic when it came to the storytelling part. Yeah. And a lot of the one in part 2 was a little bit more, the some people wanted to make sure that they put in like a personal story or some type of story that they felt needed to be told. Understandable. But then when it came through, like, a lot of the people didn't really jump on it, but a lot of people jumped on it just to see what the hype was about.
Yeah.
With the hype of the change. And it ended up being the ending of the story wasn't all that bad. It was not all that bad to begin with. So here we are. We're about to get a film. And I think that fear, because like I said, I used to gatekeep a lot of the time back in the day. And you were the person that was a lot more laxed on it. Now, like, to hear you say like, oh fuck, like, I'm nervous. Like, I don't know what to expect. It's kind of like you're in the position I was in, where you feel like you just want to be honored. It's not respected, it's honored. You want to be honored because you were there on the flagship when this game became something important.
But I don't think
a masterpiece.
I listen, I am a fan of the world building that it was doing and the character development that I got from the 2 games. But I don't think I can say that it's similar my just likeness for those 2 games to your love for comics, and stuff and the lore. I don't think it's the same. Like, I get, like, if I were to sit here and be a stickler about this movie, I'd be a dickhead because I'm not like in love with it.
That invested.
I can understand you having your feelings about something, because I can see it. Like, I can see, and I would like to call myself just a little bit more than a casual fan, but I can see where you're coming from, is what I'm saying. Yeah. So I although again, I do miss that toxic ass Chris.
No, it's coming. It's coming for Phase 5. I'll tell you that much.
It's coming. Right,
George, I want to say what's up. Elizabeth, I want to say what's up. San Antonio in the house. Laredo in the house. I want to say what's up to you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in to the show. We appreciate every one of you. Elizabeth comes in and says, apparently the government was trying to help for a Marine over there, but they got her, and I think another American was recently released, but I don't think it's all part of the trade.
So what happened?
Got like
what happened?
Got like a 4-for-1 deal with the guy.
What happened to that trade? Like, who? Like, how? Listen, I am just befuddled at how
crazy, right?
how Russia just finessed the fuck out of the United States.
It's Joe Biden, man. He's a little off his rocker, man. He's just like, look, we'll give you some water, some cupcakes, this basketball player chick. Like, we got it, dude. And he was like, hey, that sounds great. I love crackers or whatever.
Uncle Joe was catching the heat for Britney, bro. He was like, listen, man, I'm tired of listening to these motherfuckers. Yo, you got to bring her home now. Like, whatever they want, give it to them.
I need these games to rock. You know what's gonna suck if no one watches these fucking games when this shit comes back.
And that's the thing. That's the thing. It's like, bro.
And it's no disrespect. Like, I mean, nothing disrespectful to the WNBA or whatever. Like, but I mean, I'm not really a big fan of most sports other than just MMA. But I already knew that the potential and push for the WNBA isn't even that big, right?
I wouldn't say that. I won't say it's big, but what I'm saying is I don't think it's to the point where you give up a fucking arms dealer for one of its players. I
For one
don't
of the
think
players.
I don't think honestly, I don't think there's a player in the men's
Yeah,
NBA.
for
Like
that
I
type
don't
of a
think there's
person.
a athlete alive that's worth that trade. Like I
Yeah.
think that's the problem. I don't think anybody was worth that trade, to be honest with you. Yo, you know how sick my brain is really quick. I'm just gonna detour for like 2
Oh no.
seconds. Yo, this is what I was thinking when I was thinking about what I had just read when this story popped. I was thinking about all of the DEA agents, all the FBI agents, all of the manpower, the hours, the investigations, just to get this jerk off in jail in custody in the first place. That doesn't. I don't think you're gonna get the merchant of death on like a week's worth of fucking preparation. Like this was a
No, it was
organized.
huge. Yeah, it's like the
Yeah,
El Chapo guy.
this is like an organized thing, and it's all over. It all comes crumbling down because
Oh, that would have
Brittany
been funnier.
Griner. Listen, it all comes crumbling down because Brittany Griner forgot that she had a vape pen in her fucking
Oh
backpack.
yeah, that's what it was, right? She had a vape.
Yo, tell me that's some wild shit, bro. Like the chain of events that had to happen to be where we are right now is insane. All of this is because she forgot a vape pen was in her backpack.
Yep. And just not respecting the statutes and laws of another country.
And because of that,
she could have left that shit at home, man.
Dude, because of that one mistake, now a fucking arms dealer,
warmongering criminal is on the loose.
Is free to roam in Russia while they're in the middle of a fucking war. You can't write that shit better than that, bro. Like that is some freaky shit, man.
Yeah, it's fucking wild, man. That was probably the most craziest shit I heard all week. And I had totally forgot when we were pre-gaming right now about it, like talking about it, about mentioning that. And I was like, there was something else. I swear there was something else because there was some interesting things that happened this week, but nothing that big. But this is almost like a Netflix movie. Like that's what
I'm telling you, this was like a movie.
Yeah, this is like Bullet Train or some shit. Did you ever see Bullet Train?
No, I'm good.
Bullet Train is fucking good.
Yeah, right.
It's really fucking good.
I heard it was.
Georgie says, yo, I heard she's been working on her 3-pointer though. And Elizabeth says, too bad it wasn't Korea. Then Rodman could have visited and fixed it.
Rodman would have had this resolved in one day.
One day, dude. And no one would have got anything. He would have had just walked over there and got the keys out, got a Whopper, and just brought that girl home.
It would have took him the whole day, but that was only because he spent 15 minutes getting her out, and then the rest of the day just
enjoying time with Kim Jong-un. Just partying with Kim Jong-un and shit.
He could have been home by lunch. But he decided just to stay, just to kick it for a little bit.
He's the only man. Dennis Rodman's so interesting. He's the only man I know that's had a 27-hour day, dude.
Yeah,
27-hour day.
She'd have been home immediately.
That was a very, very thing, but it was a very crazy thing. We're gonna have to see how it plays out. But yeah, keep your ears to the ground for that one coming in the next couple of days. And you know what? I didn't even think about that when you mentioned it right now, where you were like, "Yo, you released this dude like a merchant in a time of war." Like,
yeah, bro.
Like, I wasn't even thinking. I was just like, wow, like they gave this dude like.
I'm telling you, I have been high the majority of this week, so I had nothing to do but sit there and just think about the most insane shit, right? And that's one of the things that hit me. I'm like, dude, Russia, you know what this is like? This is like a basketball game, and Russia's best player was out with an injury. They were on the injury reserve. They were hurt for like 3 months. And then they just came back just in time for the playoffs, for the first game of the playoffs.
Fourth quarter.
He comes back and just starts killing shit. Like, this is exactly what this is. They're getting their best player back.
Man, that's nuts.
This is crazy.
That is crazy. I don't know how it's gonna be then. This chick's coming back. Was she coming back? What, today or tomorrow? You think they'll have a parade?
She's home already.
They didn't have like a parade for her or anything like that.
Well, I'm not sure if she needed a parade, but
crazy wildlife.
I mean, she might as well get a parade for giving up the merchant of death. She deserves that. She deserves a parade for that.
Fucking just vegetables at her all day, dude. All right, here we go. I'm gonna show you this trailer. We're gonna watch it real quick with each other.
Oh, we watching it? Okay.
Yeah. I brought it up, guys. Check this out. We have the Last of Us trailer up right now. Let me take off closed captions. Let me lower this down a little bit to make sure you're not getting your eardrums blummed out. And let's go. Let's check it out.
If you don't think there's hope for the world, why bother going on?
Let me know if it's too loud.
Nah, man, it's perfect. It's perfect. There goes my boy.
Keep going for family.
I'm not family.
It's nice to see him without the helmet.
Mm-hmm. Yo, and Gabriel Luna's in this movie too, Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. They don't show him in the trailer though. I don't think so.
Somewhere out west. They're working on a cure. I think really impressive.
I think it's been a good long minute that we've had a really good zombie show.
I was gonna say, are you into like the whole zombie genre thing?
I think the Walking Dead really took my boner away for a bit, but I think it's been overdue that we have a really good like story. I think this is it.
If I'm taking you with me,
This is right out the game, bro.
do what I
Yeah,
say.
I was gonna say everything looks super sharp, unless they do like a Dying Light version, which is like the parkour one.
West.
That'd be fun too.
This is exactly like the fucking game, bro.
He looks good too, doesn't he? Like he looks like the character from the game.
No, but I mean like the
cinematography?
things, no, the things that they're doing, like they're walking across the boards from top to top. That's from the game.
You have a greater purpose than any of us could have ever imagined.
And see them all,
Be careful who
all that shit. This is awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna watch this.
You might not be her father, but you're someone's.
Yeah, most definitely. I think it's like I said, like it's been a long time when we've seen a good old fashioned like zombie.
It's like they
story.
literally took the video game and just put real people in it. This is exactly what it looks like. I'm gonna watch this. This looks good.
This is what fucking Hollywood needs to do.
This looks
This
good.
is what I keep talking about, man. Damn, that looks good. January
Yeah, man.
15th, it's already coming around the corner.
I am in.
It looks good, right?
Yeah, dude.
I think 100% this is exactly what Hollywood needs to be doing when it comes to a lot of the stuff that they're getting. Comparing this to Monster Hunter. You remember the Monster Hunter debacle?
Monster Hunter debacle.
That was the chick Mila Jovovich and Tony Jaa, and Monster Hunter is like a huge Capcom franchise.
Okay,
Huge.
yeah.
And then all of a sudden they made it into like another Fast and Furious Resident Evil 3 film, which just didn't make sense. Didn't make any sense to the story. This though looks fucking great.
It's good.
This looks fantastic. Actors look good, shots look good, cinematography looks good, everything looks solid. Exciting stuff.
HBO Max looks like they got one on their hands. I totally forgot I even had a HBO Max subscription until earlier today because I heard that there was a documentary out about the Murdochs, the Rupert Murdoch and all that shit from like Fox and all that shit. Dude, anyone that's listening, anyone that's watching, do yourself a favor, go on HBO Max and watch the documentary about Rupert Murdoch. That shit is fucking amazing, dude.
So George dropping the facts, and he says, "No, she's in San Antonio, Texas, getting debriefed." I guess he's talking about the basketball lady, the basketball person. And then he says, "Yo, this is Mando, but with a different baby Yoda." Right? I like
Pretty
it.
much.
I'm about that. Robert says, "Bro, I can't wait. It looks so good." And Elizabeth says, "Why did the sound take me like a journey for Stranger Things trailer?" I can see that. I can see that because Anderson's directed it. That's why. Anderson directed it. Who's Anderson? Is that like one of the people that did Stranger Things or what?
I have no idea.
That was the.
But I think that the second to last question, she said, "Why did Take on Me, the song that was playing?" Because Take on Me was being played as a song in that
okay.
trailer.
Yeah, I couldn't hear it over here.
But yeah, it's being played. And she's saying it's like
for Monster Hunter because Anderson. Yeah, that's Mila Jovovich's husband, and Mila Jovovich is I call her the franchise killer. Anytime you put her in a film, she like kills that franchise. Look what she did to Hellboy, dude.
I wasn't looking for
No?
her to be a big part of
Yeah,
Hellboy anyway.
Yo, I have to ask if anybody's out there, if you got to see, I'm not mistaken, Robert probably saw it. The Violent Night movie. A lot of people were telling me about Violent Night that it was really fun. So, Rob, you're gonna have to put something in the comment section about that one. And I believe he went to go see also Megan, which is the one about that crazy little doll chick that's like dancing and shit.
What?
Did you see the trailer for that one?
Megan? No, I haven't
Megan,
seen it.
Megan, Megan. That one's another weird one. It's about like an artificial intelligence. But yeah, other than that, nothing really came out other than those two. The Tekken 8 trailer came out. I'm a big Tekken fan, and Tekken 8 looks fucking amazing. I don't know if you got to see the trailer for that.
I didn't know.
Jun, which is Kazuya's mom's finally coming back, or Jin's mom. So really excited to see her. She hasn't been in the game since part 2.
Okay.
Dude, are you a big fan of Tekken or no?
No.
What the fuck?
Could you not tell from just how uninterested I am about your fucking little release, your little trailer, your little fucking
heck? You don't like fucking Tekken?
Yo, why would I care about Tekken? I grew up on fucking Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. Like Tekken is like C tier. Tekken is like C tier. No, for real. Like if you want to be honest about it, like if you since you brought it up, Tekken is like it's like down here, right? And then you have like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat somewhere up there. Why would I care about what Tekken is doing? I don't care.
Mortal Kombat. Have you ever read the story for that shit?
Yo, the Paul character was cool. The Law character was cool.
You're about to watch this shit.
The robot.
Jack?
The spinning robot dude.
Oh, Yoshimitsu.
Yoshimitsu. He was cool. I fucks with him. And that's about it. Everybody else is trash, bro.
Yo, check.
Oh no, what's the Brazilian dude?
Eddie Gordo, man.
Yeah, that guy. He was pretty cool.
Check this shit out. Look at the graphics. Look at this bitch.
Yo, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't care, yo.
You're gonna.
I don't care about Tekken, bro. Like I'm so lost.
It's just people beating the shit out of each other.
So why do I need to watch the story then? Just show me gameplay of someone getting the crap beat out of them, and we'll call it a day.
I just want you to see how beautiful this fucking looks.
Oh my god, bro.
These fucking dudes. That's
Is
my
that
boy.
RoboCop?
King's my boy, dude.
King is trash, yo. Ryu would fuck him up.
Right, man. Ryu's been the jobless.
Say something.
His whole life,
Say
man.
something. Say something. Yo.
Ryu's been jobless his whole life, man. Vagabond, running around doing nothing.
And whooping ass.
Whooping ass.
Running around, just homeless, just beating people's ass.
Yeah, how fucking good this looks, dude. It's just a dad and his son just beating the shit out of each other, exploding the city. Ryu ain't doing that shit. Just beating up old.
Yeah, this is not showing any
Indian
gameplay.
dudes, man.
This ain't gameplay, bro. That was the cinematography. This is the
great.
cinematic shit.
That looked fucking fantastic, dude. That looked fucking fantastic. Have you seen what the new Street Fighter game looked like?
I promise you, it looks better than that.
Fuck out of here.
I don't know what you were thinking, trying to show me. See, the problem was that you thought you were going to show that, and I was going to be like, "Oh my god, that looks great! That looks fucking fantastic! Like, I can't wait to fucking buy it." Man, it still looks basura, man. It's trash.
Elizabeth said, "Didn't Ryu lose to the Green Ranger in that fan movie?"
Fan movie. Okay.
And it's the Green Ranger. Shout out to the Green Ranger.
Yeah,
he beats everybody, man. He beats everybody.
I guess if Ryu were to take L, I guess it would have to be that guy.
Yeah, you're like it. I don't mind. It could be him.
Yeah.
Yo, look at this shit. What the fuck is going on? Ugh. I don't know what's up with my.
What got you? So wait, what was it about Tekken, that whack ass game? What was it that made you like it?
I like the fighting. I'm not really a big fan of like the unrealism of all the other games. What I wasn't a big fan of is how it combos a bunch of shit. I'm not a
Killer Instinct, my guy. Killer Instinct is a level above fucking Like I'm telling you, man.
It's
like
not a level above Tekken. Don't even give me that shit, dude.
It definitely is.
Get the fuck out of here.
Killer Instinct. First off, are you being serious? You're being serious, right?
Killer Instinct is not that great. Name me
You're
like
being
3
serious.
dude.
You're being
You
serious.
name me 4 characters in Tekken. Name me 3 characters in fucking.
I don't
Killer
remember.
Instinct.
It's been so
that's
long.
why.
It's been so long.
That's why.
People-
Combo breaker.
People in the comments, please tell Chris that he's just 1000% wrong. Killer Instinct is by far the superior game, and again, Tekken is somewhere in that C, maybe high D area.
What the hell are you talking
1000%.
Here, look, man. Here's Street Fighter, man. Look at this guy's fucking jawline, dude. This guy's face is so flat he could bite a wall, dude. It's Parappa the Rappa, dude.
This looks way better, yo.
What the fuck?
It looks way better, yo. Look at that shit.
Time,
Got some graffiti.
Give it some shit, man. Give it some shit. Hold on. Who are these guys, though? Oh, I guess this is like a creative character? Oh, fucking. This 17-year-old that's just banging in a basketball court fucking calls in Ryu to beat.
I would 1000%. Listen, I've already walked too far. I can't backtrack now. So listen, I would definitely play this game before that Tekken bullshit.
It's fucking crazy, dude.
My man Bison.
Who's this guy, man?
For this power.
Old Bison? No.
That's old Bison.
Old Bison.
Fuck, let's just call him.
Oh, that's DJ. What are you talking about?
Yeah, well, DJ's still here. Hey, that's Marisa. Remember Marisa, right? Oh, JP. Yeah. This old ass, pimp ass looking dude just wiping people out with his pimp cane.
Boom! Look at that. Right in the back
It's like
of
that
the
chick that's in
dome.
wrestling, man. That big chick that everybody's all excited for. That's the one that Eddie Guerrero's son is hanging around with. This pimp. Look at that pimp. I guess since we got a pimp, it's cool.
Yo, there's still Street Fighter tournaments, bro. There's no Tekken tournaments anymore, dog. No one plays that shit.
There's always Tekken tournaments.
Nobody has Tekken tournaments anymore.
We just had a Tekken tournament.
I don't care. I mean, I'm talking about like on the grand scale, bro. No disrespect. But there's so many Street Fighter tournaments still.
Yeah, this looks silly as fuck, dude.
Looks way better than that bullshit.
That looks silly as fuck. What are we watching, man? Combo breaker.
I'm in.
Bro, unrealism. There literally is a demon and a cyborg that fight each other, Chris. That's real life shit. It's real life shit. They have AI. We have AI in the real world. To be fair, Raul played Bison. Raul Julia did play M. Bison in that amazing Street Fighter movie.
I know, George. I'm just busting his balls, man. I know.
Van Damme ever, dude.
Okay, listen. I will agree. Yes, there are still some Tekken tournaments. Responding to George shit, but let's be serious. Like, there's way more prominent and bigger Street Fighter tournaments. Let's just.
What's
be
your favorite
honest.
character in Street Fighter?
Chun-Li.
That's the problem.
Why
You're not a Ryu player.
Why?
Everybody jumps Ryu or Ken.
You asked who
You
my
don't even
favorite
go
player.
Kuma?
You asked me what the hell? You asked me who my favorite player to play with, and it's
We just
Chun-Li.
jumped on that
Chun-Li was the one for me, bro.
Chun-Li's the good. Did you ever see were you ever a fan of the animated films of Street Fighter?
I was actually.
Yo,
and I was a fan of the show. You remember they had a Street Fighter show back in the day. Yeah, dude, I was a fan of that as well.
The fucking fight scene that they drew out for Chun-Li versus Vega when they're in the room from the first movie, that was a legit fucking fight scene. That was probably one of the coolest ass fight scenes I've ever seen in my whole goddamn life. Animated. Liz says, I need a Marvel versus Capcom movie. Fuck, that would be wild. But you know what
would be fun about a movie like that? You don't need, and this is where they would fuck up. If they ever did this movie, they would try to be like cute and outsmart themselves and try to write some coherent screenplay or
they're not just gonna put it down.
Dog, you don't need all that, man. You don't need it.
Like an old school, like fucking The Quest or Bloodsport movie.
You don't exactly.
Very little story. Just get
That's
to the
it.
fights.
Just get to the fights. That's it. Yo.
It would be like if, dude, and you know what? We just talked about this a couple weeks ago. The fucking idea of them doing a Smash movie,
Mhm.
with the Mario Brothers coming out, them having like Donkey Kong as a supporting character, them actually having a scene where they're like fighting on like a
bridge.
platform and doing shit like from the game.
Yeah.
I 100% think with the Sonic movie that came out, the fucking Detective Pikachu, and now you have this. If we can get like a Kingdom Hearts movie, because I think a Kingdom Hearts movie animated would be fucking badass if Pixar did it, and everything else could be like Wreck-It Ralph, where it's just like literally you could do Wreck-It Ralph 3 and call it Smash Brothers or whatever, and have it be where like it's just them going to like a big ass internet version of a big ass fighting game. I would love to see a Smash tournament movie, dude. That would be so cool. George says, "Bro, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. I played on Necro. Good shit, dude. Yeah, that was a fun game.
Plays Street Fighter. Chris is the last man on the planet that still plays fucking Tekken.
Or a good Fatal Fury game. We just got King of Fighters. I want to say 15 just came out, or 13 just came out a couple of maybe like a year and a half ago. It's a pretty good update. Different schematics for the game, but man, I don't know we have that many people in here talking about fighting games. I love fighting games, man. That shit's awesome. Going on to the conversation pieces. Let's go ahead and hit it up, my dude. So we got some interesting things that happened this week. One of the biggest ones, of course, dealing that we're talking about some video games about what's going on and stuff, is I needed to touch base on this with Brian, because Brian's a
what up
really big fan of this. But we had a trailer drop for Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Yes, we did. Absolutely.
Tell me how you thought of it, being that you're pretty much more invested. I know that Triggs was a real big fan of it too. I myself didn't get to play it, but tell me, how did it feel seeing the second trailer?
I am looking forward to this game, and as you guys know, like I'm not really, I don't have much to offer in the world of games that much, because I don't play a lot of games. I'm more of like a repeat offender. Like I have my set core of games, and that's what I play, just to pass the time. But this game I'm looking forward to. Fallen Order is probably played that game at least like 5-6 times or something like that, and yeah, it's one of my favorites. So to know that, although I could have used this a little bit earlier, but we're getting the sequel now, and I'm looking forward to it. I think it's dropping March 17th. March 17th, I think it drops. So yeah, I'll be waiting. What about yourself? Like, what's the hype level for this game for you? I mean, like, are you looking forward to it? Are you gonna play the old one? Are you gonna play the old one to get ready for this one? Or
I mean,
just like
the way I usually do it is, if I don't have the funds at the time to buy a brand new game, or I see myself really sitting down and playing it, and then I'm not gonna purchase it, I'll kind of catch up with the stories on the cinematics, like on YouTube, through watching like some type of like a gameplay or a walkthrough of it.
Okay.
So like with this one, I had the opportunity to check out some players that had already gone through the game, kind of checked it out, caught up with the story fairly well. I'm just excited for Star Wars to actually be investing into a story that feels good and organic, rather than it be like a story that they're like, oh, I know this is rushed, but you're just going to have to accept that this is a story and we're going with it.
But you know what? Even though, and I don't want to cut you off, but like, even though the Star Wars fandom is like toxic as fuck, like let's just call a spade,
yeah,
they don't really have any issues in the game department as far as I'm concerned. Like they may have like one clunker here or there, but for the most part, they're pretty solid when it comes to games. So like for me, this is just like par for course. Like they're like, this is what they're supposed to do. Like they're not giving me what I want out of them from like a cinematic perspective, like from the movies or the shows or anything like that, really. But the one thing I can count on is that they're going to give me a solid game. So again, I'm looking forward to it.
I mean, and this kind of falls in place with what we were talking about a while back, where the fans have kind of bickered and called for at least some type of Knights of the Old Republic live action or something, because a lot of the times they make these stories in the video games and they're pretty damn good. The stories are pretty well written. The characters are organic and they feel good. I mean, comparing it to it, being that you had the opportunity to invest in playing this game, understand the character, get to know him on a personal level because you get to play as him for that moment. Comparing him to the introduction of a new character like Reva in the Star Wars Obi-Wan story, like which one to you felt like it had more of your attention as a person in the Star Wars universe?
So in pre-production, I was saying more or less that I didn't necessarily need original characters, let's say of like a Reva. Like there are characters in place that I feel confident in saying that a lot of Star Wars fans would like to see. Um do I mind original characters? No. But if you're gonna give me something that I'm like, I don't know how invested I can be in Reva, and when the next time I'm going to see her. But a person like Cal Kestis, that there has been, fans that have been asking to see him in live action. Like you had a perfect opportunity to show him at some point, or at least allude to him at some point in any one of these shows. So now, at least now that we're getting a new game, it'll hold me over. But we need to see him in live action, though. Like that's gotta.
I think so too.
That's gotta happen.
I think bringing him in, I think they would just need to figure out. I think we were talking about this earlier, like in the time frame, because like from what it looks like in the trailer is like they aged him up to at least what the actor's age is. So I think to me that kind of puts into perspective that there's a possibility we're gonna get him like in a Mando series or maybe even the Ahsoka Tano series, because I think this correlates more. I mean, it could still correlate in both if I'm not mistaken, because this is a little bit after the original trilogy when the Death Star breaks up and the Empire's all busted up.
Yeah.
So, in that moment, Cal Kestis is probably aged up a little bit more, closer to Obi-Wan's age, maybe a little bit less, like by 15, 20 years, maybe even less than that.
Well, it's more the thing that the rebellion is kind of disbanded and broken up. The Empire is pretty still intact. They're not what they were. And now it's just basically any Jedi, it's on site, you got to be dealt with right then and there.
Yeah.
Like there's not gonna be any discussions. There's not gonna be any compromise. Any Jedi, you're dead on site. That's it.
And that's kind of like the correlation they have in the trailer with those big alien dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a part where it pops off and they're like, there he is right there. It's Jedi. Let's get him. And there's like, no, we're going to show him what's up or whatnot. Elizabeth says, so are they retconning 7 and 8 for sure? Because I thought The Force Unleashed was canon. Then it wasn't, but they used it in the movies.
Yeah, I don't know exactly.
Go for it.
When I was gonna say, when it comes to the video games, I think they pick and choose what is
canon and not
canon and what's not canon. Like the only ones you can safely say are canon are the ones that have like the Darth Vaders in them and like the characters like that. Anything else, I don't think you can guarantee that it's canon.
Well, that's pretty hard too, because The Force Unleashed literally dealt with a character that was apparently like a hidden apprentice of Darth Vader. And I think that's the purpose of them being like, ooh, a hidden apprentice, because then they don't have to make him canon or retcon or retcon, because of the fact that he's just not anywhere. Like he's not really like embedded in any of the story plots.
You don't have to be you don't have to be attached to him too much. And
what I remember happening was that Force Unleashed, what is it, Star Killer? He was not an established character, but to give homage to his character, they named Mad Mikkelsen's character after him in Rogue One, or Rogue One, right?
Rogue One.
In Rogue One, his character is actually named the name. So watch, if I go Mads Mikkelsen, Star Wars. His name is Galen Walton.
Okay.
And if you go to Galen, if you go to Star Killer's real name, his real name is Galen Merrick. So they ended up using the Galen name for that character. So it was kind of like a homage to knowing like, hey, well, here's our little tip of the hat to Star Killer and stuff like that. She even says, hey, well, there's a Star Killer base. Yeah. Yeah, there is. Indeed, there is. Yeah. So there's a lot of like even homage in the idea of it is like the rebel image, if I'm not mistaken, is his family crest. So like it's the Galen Merrick family crest that became the Rebels logo. So that logo with like it looks like a phoenix or whatever, like that's the logo of his family crest. Which I was real like, oh man, when they started bringing it up in I thought with Andor and Obi-Wan when they were doing a lot of like the Rebel stuff, I thought they were gonna have some kind of like they were gonna kind of like canon him in the story like for once, and nah, it never happened. But yeah, I think that there's a huge possibility for Cal Kestis' character to come out in the series. I think we talked about this in theorized once that we were hoping that they were going to use him as the person who saved Grogu. But I know that in the game, his character's like away from the Jedi Academy during the Order 66, right? Like
yeah, I was gonna
or something, right?
I don't remember. I don't think he was on a mission. He just went into hiding. A lot of the Jedi just went straight into hiding after Order 66. So I was saying like after when we were talking about it in pre-production, I don't know if the timeline adds up, but I don't care, dude. Like I don't care if make it add up. I don't care how you guys do it.
Make it work.
Just make it add up and put them in whatever show or
because I think that was the only thing that lacked in the original story of Star Wars is that after Order 66 and after the whole fall of the Jedi, like you're only left with like 2 Jedi in the world. Like it was like I think Luke Skywalker was literally like the only Jedi left, and then he goes and makes the Jedi Academy. But this opportunity to say like, well, there are other Jedi. They didn't go the same direction as Luke Skywalker did. You know, they're out there somewhere in the universe. I think it kind of gives this whole it builds to the universe. It builds to the opportunity to tell cooler and better stories. I know that when Luke Skywalker ends up creating the Jedi Academy, he implements feelings and emotions into something the Jedi weren't, familiar with. Oh, it's okay to fall in love. Oh, it's okay to have a family. It's okay because love is a feeling and it can help you be stronger. Kind of like the Sith deal with pain and aggression and obsoleteness and all that other stuff. So they were trying to figure out ways, and he kind of opened up a whole new, like the hippie version of Jedis. Like, I guess how he was the hippie. He was the, he was like the Jesus of Star Wars, I guess. But yeah, I think it was a cool thing that they finally brought out the trailer. Who's the guy in the pot though?
Who's the guy in the what? In
the trailer. So watch. I'll tell you what. Let's just pop up the trailer now. That's what I like doing in this episodes. I like being able to come to these things. Star Wars Jedi. Let me see. Jedi Survivor trailer. And that's because the actor has gone to Hollywood to like the Star Wars event thing, like dressed up as his character too, right? Let's see. Let's get it, boys and girls. All right, here we go. Who's that guy?
Who?
That dude.
This guy inside?
Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
So he's like a new character or something?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it Shigaraki from My Hero Academia?
I hear you've been busy making yourself the Empire's most wanted.
Who's that? That was one of the people that was like helping him train when he was younger, right?
Yeah, that's that chick is like a famous actress. I can't remember like what her name is, but she's in everything, dude.
Yeah,
she was on Mad TV.
Early 2000s and stuff.
Yeah, she was on Mad TV.
Yep.
Remind our friend.
Look at these guys, all cyberpunked out.
Supposed to be dead.
Here we go.
Yo, pulls up a double lightsaber. What's
buddy.
up, dude?
After all we've done.
The Sasquatch. He's dead after that. There's no way he survives that Hulk moment, dude.
That's what I'm talking about.
Standing against the darkness, Mickey. The darkness. You killed. Is that Poe Dameron?
I think so, dude.
That looks just like him, right?
Looks like him.
Look at this dude doing cool kicks and shit. It's silly as fuck.
The Jedi is a threat.
Look how good this guy looks, man.
Now that we have this,
And then that's the guy in the 2. Now everybody stops lightsaber or blasters beams now, right? Kylo Ren started a whole new trend and shit.
Look how awesome this looks.
Yeah, here we go.
Hope survives.
Yo, and then his system changes. Look, he's like swinging that shit like it's got weight behind it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It looks good. Not even gonna lie. Now all that shit in the background, that looks like the shit that came out in the Rebels story, the backdoor to the Star Wars universe.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Like all that shit that's in the temples, that all the back door to like the universe that they fucking what's his face ran through and kind of messed around with. That looks like all that shit. So crazy, man. What do you think's gonna happen in the story? What's up? How you doing, my dude?
I don't know. I mean, it looks like a whole bunch of Jedi shit. Like it's just gonna be like old school. I don't say old school, but like it's just gonna be just a Jedi tale, which I'm happy for. Like not a coming of age, but just like inner perspective, internal battle type of shit. And I'm here for it. Just give me some cool fucking moves, and I'm in.
Give me some cool fucking action scenes, man.
That's it.
You know, and get it to combine a little bit more with one of the major story arcs, so that way we can.
I don't need that. I don't need it. I don't need
feel
it,
like it's necessary. Well, I mean, it's not necessary. I wouldn't say necessary, but like I would like to see something where it's like it'll make you go back to like a movie, and then remember something, and they say like, "Oh, well, Cal left that there." Like Cal
I think the best thing they could do is just leave this the fuck alone from all that other shit they're doing right now. Like it doesn't need to
stand alone,
to be parts of that. Yeah, it doesn't need to be part of that. It's its own thing. Its own feet and stuff. Yeah, just let it chill.
Elizabeth says those are some Force Unleashed 2 moves, if I'm not mistaken. I see it. All that Star Wars shit looks the same. Yeah, Obi-Wan don't move like that. He's old. He's got those old bones. And Sal, what is up, my guy? Welcome to the show. Good to see you again, my dude. So what do we got? 10 out of 10 or what?
Of course, yeah. I'm on board.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
Jedi Survivor. What kind of question that was, yeah.
Looks pretty sharp. March 17th is going to be the release date. Cannot go wrong with that. Yo, I have to ask, did you see the trailer for Suicide Squad?
For the game, right?
The video game.
I did not. Wasn't that also posted in the chat? I'm such a shit
Rob
friend,
posted
dude.
In the chat. The reason why I posted in the chat, God bless us.
Rob is undervalued. Yeah, he's undervalued.
It is the last. It's the last appearance of Kevin Conroy as Batman.
Okay, yeah.
So he got to finish all like.
Wait, that was like a real thing. It's really like I thought it was maybe like a fan made thing. No. It's a video game coming out. And this is a video game that is dealing with the Suicide Squad going after the Justice League. I saw that. I saw the part where it's got like Boomerang is dragging the Flash.
Yeah, the Flash is fucking with the Flash and stuff.
That's part of the game?
Yeah.
Oh shit, okay.
Yeah, that's I thought that was like I guess it's so what it is I guess the levels are going to be very Arkham Asylum based.
Yeah,
you're gonna have certain leaders in charge of certain areas, and you're gonna beat the Flash is one of the departments that you go through, and then the next is gonna be Batman, the next is gonna be Wonder Woman, the next is going to be Aquaman, and then at the very end, I think it's gonna be like Superman to the final villain that took over everybody. That's what I think it's gonna end like.
This door will not hold. We must barricade it.
King Shark. Looking very sharky.
Stay here, pal.
What are you gonna do when you have a fucked up Bruce Wayne inside your fucking room?
Yeah, but I think this is very much like, can we kind of like agree that this is all based in the Injustice universe? Because of the costume designs?
Well, yeah, because of the animation. It's exactly what it's like with
it looks like Injustice.
Injustice, yeah.
Which I guess it's a little bit more gritty. Gets and he cut off the Flash's finger. Yo, because I want to know what are the implications like after this situation with Batman. Because Batman has that like no kill policy. Right?
Yeah.
And this whole part is like Batman becomes a villain and then just starts killing motherfuckers.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I take it you don't like that part. It disturbs
No,
you.
I mean it doesn't matter to me. I just want to know if like
doesn't kill people.
because it's a good. It's I mean of course it's a part of the Batman character we've always wanted to see him be like what would happen if he killed like fuck it like break your rule or whatever. But like there has to be some type of implication like after where he like the remorse or the recollection of it.
I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman.
Badass. Good shit. Good shit. So what do you think? I mean, I kind of feel like the Batman games or anything right now that DC's putting out video game wise automatically gets pushed in with like the Batman games. And I think the Batman games, even the one that recently came out where it was like Gotham Knights, kind of lost flavor.
Now I would play the Gotham Knights
first
game.
one, right?
That game I don't there's multiple.
Oh yeah, there's Arkham Asylum, Arkham City.
but those aren't
and then that one goes into Gotham Knights or Gotham
well yeah, I'm only speaking about Gotham Knights. I would play Gotham Knights. That shit looks dope. I played the rest of them.
Yeah.
But the one I haven't played Gotham Knights. I would play that one. That looks awesome.
Sal Seguda says, is it just me or does the boomerang sound like the boomerang from the movie? I don't know. I forgot that actor's name, but I didn't get to hear it. I don't really get to hear it on my side. You guys can hear it through the thing more, so it'd have to be if you guys hear it. And then George says, Chris, did you read the comic where they combined Wolverine and Batman? Yeah, that was a crossover series. I forgot what it's called, but that's called, his name's Dark Claw. And what they did was they combined both characters. They ended up combining a bunch of characters. They did Superboy, Spider-Man, I want to say Wonder Woman and like Black Widow, maybe off the top of my head. Yeah, Batclaw. There you go. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I think it was an interesting storyline. Of course, it was a crossover, and right now, that's a really good, interesting point that we'll pull into that. Robert says, I'm looking forward to this one and then Gotham Knight. I think Gotham Knight already came out, didn't it?
I don't think so.
It came out like a week ago or a month ago or something like that. But that'll bring us right into our next topic, which is that James Gunn has been talking about the amalgam. Yeah, the amalgam crossover. Gabe got that right on. What's up, Gabe? How you doing, my dude? James Gunn came in and has been talking about, dropping theories and all this other stuff that he's really pushing to get a crossover between Marvel and DC. What do you think we ever get that in live action?
A crossover? Right? I think there's a lot better chances now than there were before.
Yeah, no kidding, man. Elizabeth, before we get into conversation, says, I think Batman and the Darkness had a crossover too on Witchblade. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. And right now, it's even cooler. They're talking about Todd McFarlane, the creator of Spawn, just came out and said that if he can get Batman in his comic book or at least a crossover, that it would make his new story like a million times better. So that would be interesting.
The last time anyone bought a Todd McFarlane fucking comic.
Spawn just recently did like a whole revamping of their universe. They have like a multiverse. They did like this whole crossover theory that
is it still being printed by Image?
I believe so.
What the fuck?
Let me see who prints Spawn. Yeah, Image, American company, Image Comics.
Still hanging in there, huh?
Yeah, still pushing. Spawn's still in there doing stuff. Like I said, they just recently revamped his universe. They created a multiverse with a bunch of different styles of Spawn, cowboy Spawn, hippie Spawn. I don't know. I'm just making shit up now.
Jesus Christ.
I know that they ended up doing a bunch of characters, which is cool as fuck. But getting into our next part of the conversation, we are talking about where James Gunn dropped the idea of them doing maybe a multiverse one day or whatever, where Marvel and DC can make a film together. I feel that's extremely far-fetched with what's going on with both companies right now, and they just got to kind of get their shit together. But knowing that they got to get their shit together, we heard a lot of crazy shit happen this week for both Marvel and DC. But it seems like the more bigger news is coming out of what happened to DC. So apparently respect me if I'm wrong or correct me if I'm wrong, anybody out in the comments too, but like, is DC scrapping everything? Because I've heard, of course, Wonder Woman's casually out. Black Adam apparently made horrible numbers in the box office, which I don't believe. I think it was great, but for them needing to break even financially and business wise, I believe that they didn't make it. I think the movie was good. I think it was a breath of fresh air for what the series was. And apparently that Jason Momoa's last appearance as Aquaman 2 is going to be Aquaman 2, or it's going to be his last appearance in the DC universe. There has been a lot of talks that people want Jason Momoa to play Lobo in the DC universe, but he's already Aquaman. So if they do a reboot and keep him as Lobo, I guess that works. But I think that's weird as fuck too. But what have you heard about all this stuff, Brian? About the DC James Gunn coming in and just swashbuckling everything?
I heard that he did exactly what I thought someone in his position was going to have to do. When you're taking over a situation like the DCU, you're gonna have to adjust a few things. And I had figured that whoever took over that job was gonna have to put that kill shot into the Snyderverse. And that's what he did. And I like it. I like it. I think it's a smart move. I think it's a savvy business move. Stop keeping people's hopes up for something that's never gonna come. And just make a statement like, yo, I'm here now. Like, I'm running the show. I know you guys have been bitching and moaning about the Snyderverse and restore the Snyderverse and all that shit, but you know what? It's over. I'm bursting your bubble. It's over. We're moving forward. And I like that kind of decision making. Very concise, precise.
I have to ask though, like in recent times with DC doing big moves, you know, they like I would say, like, what was it, like 2 years ago, they released the Snyder Cut. Then, of course, there was this, like, they allowed Zack Snyder to not only put in the little bit of extra material he had on his image of what he wanted to do, but Zack Snyder decided to say, oh, well, you know what? I'm going to put in all the trolling shit too that I was going to push for this movie to go in that direction. Because, again, if we wanted to get a release of the Snyder Cut, that movie should not have been 4 hours. That was this dude taking the opportunity to show you, well, I wanted to do this scene, let me film that scene. Well, I wanted to do this scene, let me film that scene too. Let me put that shit in here. Oh, the Martian Manhunter, I wanted to put him in. Oh, this guy, Green Lantern, yeah, the Green Lantern was there. Oh, fucking that one actor the whole time was Martian Manhunter, even though I gave no fucking clue to him being the Martian Manhunter. I was just gonna bring it out that after, you know, Doomsday fucked everybody, after, you know, Superman died, after Darkseid came in, and, you know, the entire probably biggest fucking like problem that could happen to the Earth happened, I was gonna have the Martian Manhunter come out and be like, yo, well, you guys hit me up next time, I'll for sure come and help out. And it's like, well, why didn't you help out this time? Like, well, what was the big problem with not fucking being a part of the team now? I think it was one of those things like Zack Snyder was just throwing it out there just to throw it out there. Then you had all of that restore the Snyderverse bullshit happen directly after it, where you got the crowd back together. He was trying to get it to where the audience was forcing the bigwigs to try to make decisions to have him still stick around. So instead of them bringing Zack Snyder back, I think they were bringing in directors and telling them, hey, like, well, this guy already created something. A lot of people are on that bandwagon. Let's kind of keep messing with that shit. And I think they should have cut that shit before that. You know, if Zack Snyder would have put that shit on HBO Max, and
it wasn't really, honestly, it wasn't, I don't think it was that hard of a decision or that hard of an act to do for James Gunn to just say we're done here. It's because and it was because I'm pretty sure that this movie, the Flash movie, was supposed to reboot everything anyway. So we were already going away from the Snyderverse anyway. You just didn't have anyone that was willing to sit there and be like, okay, we're officially done. So I don't know, dude. But I was asking you I was asking you off camera though. Like, you don't think that this is weird that out of all the things that were said, one of the things that were mentioned is that Black Adam won't have a sequel, and the fact that The Rock has not responded or said anything about that, you don't find that weird?
I find it super fucking weird. I find it really weird, but at the same time, like, I think the scrutiny that was going into the film was that everybody was just making fun of The Rock, like him being an actor.
Yo, The Rock is
So,
pissed
like,
somewhere, bro. He is upset somewhere.
I guarantee
bro.
it. I guarantee he's pissed because like this just kind of goes off of like a gotcha moment. And this is what we were talking about, where it's like, I don't think he's made any type of like response to the situation other than like, you know what, I did my best. Or if anything, he probably put up a tweet somewhere, you know, talking about how, you know, this isn't the end, or I don't know, some bullshit. He's going to put up something that's like a positive reinforcement situation. And I think it's because of the fact that he doesn't want to hear that other part of the audience or that other part of his fan base being like, I told you so. I told you suck at this stuff. You aren't going to fix anything. Like, I believe 100% that he was going in there and he assumed that he was going to fix the DC universe. Like, he went off and told everybody, dude, from here on out, fucking brand new horizons, the fucking changing of the guard, you know, fucking, I don't know. He put out a bunch of crazy shit talking about how we have a whole hierarchy difference of different characters or whatever. I don't know why Black Adam's like a mediocre character at best. I told you from the very beginning, I thought it was very surprising Black Adam was getting his own fucking standalone film, much less The Rock getting his own fucking standalone DC film where, you know, I'm not saying he's a bad actor, but I'm just saying I think he's hit his pinnacle unless he takes acting classes and kind of gets out there and does a little bit more than what he's been doing in the last several years. Mm-hmm. I think it's weird as fuck that there's an investment into the Black Adam movie and then an investment into The Rock as Superman and Super Pets and Black Adam and Super Pets. And then all of that gets scrapped so they could just reboot the DC franchise. Not only that, The Rock had to jump through many hoops probably to get Henry Cavill back in a Superman outfit. And right after that, you know, canned, you know what I mean? All the characters. And this is weird too. And the reason why I say it's weird is because like James Gunn is not coming in and cutting this and being like, well, I don't give a shit. It doesn't affect me. His Peacemaker is in the same universe. So his Peacemaker is going to get cut also if that's the case. If they're not going in this, because he connected them. And that's crazy too, no?
I mean, yeah, but
Justice League's he brought the Justice League.
But the good thing about being the boss is that you can call a shot. So yeah, it may sound
hardcore.
No, it may sound as if like the Peacemaker should be wrapped up in that, but James Gunn's like, get the fuck. I'm keeping. First off, I have John Cena, who is a draw. Like I'm not getting rid of John Cena. He goes nowhere. Like he's gonna be able to stay, but the rest of y'all, you guys can go.
I don't know. I'm just not, because the thing is in the last episode of that film, he brought into Justice League, which had Ezra Miller, fucking Aquaman in it. Of course, like Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman were faces were not showing. But with
but Ezra that was Miller a business. That was a business move. It wasn't because he was a fan of Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman. Because it was a way. It was a way to bring people.
I think it was because they were just available. That's even more to the idea that like Jason Momoa is like in studio because they were filming Dune, and Ezra Miller was in the studio because he was doing the Harry Potter films. So I think it was like they were kind of like casually just in the area. But even with that, like the same characters from Peacemaker came out in Black Adam also, which was the blonde-haired girl that's when Black Adam's character is underwater, doing his underwater stuff, and of course Amanda Waller's character. So I mean, the idea of these reoccurring characters from the same universe keep on popping up in all of these different films. But how many of them, which ones are going to get cut? Because I don't think Amanda Waller gets cut.
Probably not.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think they keep her because she's a strong character. I think I wouldn't see why they would cut Jason Momoa, but I did hear a rumor this past week that they are going to let him go and this is the last one. But I kind of think it's more in the sense of like, what other stories can you do with Aquaman? Like his character really doesn't really have a lot going on for itself. Even in the comic books, there's not really a lot going on. He fights Orem a couple times, which is what's his face, Ocean Master. I think the Injustice story with him and Wonder Woman was pretty good. And then it's just him fighting for the fucking crown or whatever. Like you already did that in the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he talks to fish. We're gonna do a whole ass 2.5 hour movie of him just talking to fish. A podcast. They're gonna do a podcast underwater.
Mm-hmm.
It's just Aquaman. We'll call it Wet and Wild, the Aquaman podcast. That's gonna be the whole second film. Wonder Woman. I don't feel like Wonder Woman's situation is the same. I still feel like you need to give like a better storytelling situation with Ares and the whole like Olympus, like how it all kind of portrays into the pantheon of the Greek and Roman pantheons.
Okay.
I think that would really be cool. We only got a little bit of Themyscira in both films, just enough for her to like show us what the drills or the ceremonies are, but they never really went into the lure of like how Zeus is her father, how it implements on how it all kind of came to be. Like we got to see Zeus in the Snyder cut, and we got to see Ares and I think Athena, which were the gods that were with the humans that fought Darkseid when they were in that one part. I thought that was a really interesting part that they could kind of like push on. That would be pretty cool if they kind of gave us more of that gladiator-esque lure of Wonder Woman. Because we already know how she is nowadays. She like works at a museum and hangs around with cool Batman and Superman.
Yeah.
I think they just need to, I mean, what would be the easiest way to say it is like, if, and more than likely we're going to get a reboot, what would you want to see? Because of course, like, you know me, I'm like a gatekeeper for all this shit. Like I'm going to tell you like what I feel they should do from the comic books, but like without being as heavily invested as myself, like you're like a casual when it comes to this. Like you're more casual when it comes to like, especially like, I don't think you're that big into the DC guys, are you? I mean, Batman, yeah. Flash, yeah.
Enough to hold a conversation.
Yeah, enough to hold a conversation. But like, I mean, that's kind of like the way it is. Like DC, I feel like there is a niche for people who like the DC comic book realm. Like those people, like they're not going to sit on the Marvel side at all. Like, but like, how would you want to see a revamping of the DC universe? Where would you want to see it be told from?
From everywhere. Like there's nothing. I mean, if you're not going to go forward with the Snyder verse, you gotta, it's everything. You have to start all over again from scratch.
Would you want to see?
What you're gonna, if that's what you're gonna do, then just
in seeing like like the way they did Christopher Reeve's Superman, where it was like a tale of two lives, where it was him, the reporter, you know, being like he's saving lives and doing a Superman thing, but a lot of flashbacks of him being a kid, kind of like the way they did the Man of Steel movie, where it was like his dad having those moments where he was having to like learn to control and mature as a person with these powers. Like, would you want to see that all over again? Or would you want to see like already an established Superman?
I don't care what you give me. I'm not saying I need an origin story. You're just gonna have to start over again. So if that means that you're gonna have to give me any perspective, I don't care whether he's already an established superhero or he's a kid. I don't care what you give me. If you give me like Superboy or something, I don't care what you give me. But you're gonna have to start over. You're gonna have to start over from scratch. You're gonna have to start over from scratch on all of these characters. I guess what you're asking me is if like the character base, yes, you can give me all the same characters, but you're gonna have to start over again. I know that sucks. I know people don't want to hear that, but that's where we are. Sometimes you have to go back to go forwards. So you guys, listen, we've all gotten a million versions of all these stories already. So what's one more? What's one more?
You see, like to me, it's really crazy, man. Like I kind of feel like every time we get an introduction with like a new actor, like I kind of want them to do like an origin story a little bit. Like I do want them to touch base on their origins. And then they can switch it up a little bit or you know, a new cinematography style, like a new shot style. But give me something different. Like give me something where I could see this character so I can grow with this character.
Mm-hmm.
If we bring in a Superman that's already established, then like how far have we missed? Like did we miss like the first time he's ever done battle? You know, did we miss him fight Doomsday? Did we miss him fight,
But you have time for all that. See, that's the issue, is that they tried to rush everything in so soon.
The Zack Snyder series.
So we have time for that. There's no rush, bro. You guys are like, what would they be trying to catch up to? The Marvel?
Yeah, there's no way. There's no way they
can't catch them. They're out of here, bro. Like there's no way you're catching them. So take your time and just make it fucking worth people's time. And
I mean, if you even think about it right now, Marvel hit its biggest rut with Phase 4, and DC's not even on the map. Like, there's no way they're catching up. Like, Marvel hit a huge speed bump with Phase 4. Like, if DC was going to do at least any type of catch up to show that it was in the same realm, it would have made as much noise, if not more, than the Marvel Universe then and there. But it's not, because it's in shambles. It's in shambles. I've always believed that they need to give each character in the DC universe, kind of like the same thing with like Marvel, like their own trilogies. But I think that the actors that they've chosen for the Trinity, which is Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, I kind of feel like they're already older. They need to go with a younger crowd. They need to pick someone that's like maybe 10 years younger on each of them. Gal Gadot, I mean, maybe, because she's supposed to be like a matured woman, like a woman character. But like Batman, he was already too old. Like he left a bunch of questions. What happened to Robin? You know, where's Nightwing? It left a bunch of questions him at that age. You know, Superman, I think Henry Cavill's a good age, but how much more does he have before he starts showing his age? Before he starts being like a Hugh Jackman Wolverine character. You know what I mean? Like Superman's always supposed to be like late 20s until he plays like the Kingdom Come version or whatever. Yeah, I just think they need to revamp. They need to redo and reboot the whole series. Robert, well, let's go. George says Flashpoint Aquaman was very cool. He was cooler. Yes, I do believe that. I think that was a great storytelling for the Aquaman character and the Wonder Woman character. Robert says, I'm in it. I'm in it for it, man. But no more origin stories. Just like, let's just go straight into a superhero action stuff, or like stories that have already been told like 1,000 times. You see, and that's a really good point. A lot of people are tired of the origin story stuff.
I'm fine. Listen, I'm fine with that. I'm not picky about this. See, I'm not gonna be picky about this because they need to get to it. So give me whatever the fuck you want. It doesn't have to be an origin story.
I really think you know what would be cool is, I think if you were to do each character from the Justice League and give them their own franchise movie or whatever, their own IP, you give them all trilogies, minus like Aquaman, unless you do Aquaman. You will hear me out. Superman. The first trilogy will deal all the way to the Doomsday story. So it'll be like the Superman story beginning, the Superman middle, and then you get your trilogy, which goes into Doomsday. And you can even kind of return it back to the way they did with Justice League in this one, where after Doomsday kills him, he comes back during that Justice League story. And he's like the heavy hitter. You can even redo that if you want to keep that. I think the Wonder Woman series needs to have a trilogy based on Ares, where Ares is like the doer of doing damage throughout her entire life. And in the trilogy, that's her major villain. For Batman, I think doing who would be a good villain? I don't want to say the Joker because that's like the first go-to. I wouldn't want to see a trilogy with the Joker. Who would be your trilogy guy for a Batman villain?
What's the guy,
Mr. Freeze?
No.
Harvey Dent?
Negative. The guy that cuts himself.
Zaz?
Zaz, yes,
Yeah,
Zaz.
Zaz.
I don't know if I need three. I don't think I need 3 movies of any. Like I think you're overdoing it. I don't need 3 movies with one fucking villain.
The way I'm thinking about it is like DC wants to make sure that they're making their money and they're getting their long run.
Yeah, listen. Just please change up the villain every movie. I don't need fucking 3 movies of the Riddler.
It's not necessarily 3 movies about one character.
Okay.
It's 3 movies about the main character, which is of course Batman or Superman, but the villain at the end of the trilogy is the one who put everything or orchestrated the other 2 films. So like, let's say it's Doomsday, right? So that means the first film would be like LexCorp, and then the second movie would be Lex Luthor, and then that Lex Luthor film will introduce Doomsday, but then Doomsday goes wild in the last movie, and that's the major story. That builds up. That's the build. That's the 3 movies. LexCorp, him fighting a corporation, then him fighting the head of the corporation, and then him fighting the secret weapon to that corporation, and then a big fuck fest occurs. Wonder Woman. You have your first movie. She fights. I don't know. She fights in Themyscira against like some undead dudes, right? Or an undead army, some random fucking villain guy. The second movie, it's her leaving Themyscira to help Trent or whatever his name was, the guy that she moves in. And then in the last movie, Ares comes out and says, I orchestrated it because I wanted your power and your lasso or whatever. And that brings us into the third movie. Batman, it would be like you say Victor Zsasz or the Frost guy that killed his parents. And you can even make it to where the Riddler is the third person that orchestrated the entire first 2 movies to build him into him fighting him in the third. I think it's a really great way for them to bring in major villains in each one of the characters and build their rogue galleries, where you have one mastermind and a bunch of sub villains under them who kind of like minor villains that do their shit for them. I think it builds the characters up very well. You can literally like take a lot of forms. Like we're looking at, let's say we just had the new Robert Pattinson Batman movie. We brought the Riddler. The Riddler was the first villain. And then we got that super, super secret ending where we got this character that looks like the Joker. With the way the Riddler movie went, do you want to see a Joker film in the next one?
Yeah, I can see it.
You see it? I kind of feel like the Joker and the Riddler are almost like the same character. And I would want to see something like give me a Killer Croc, a Court of Owls movie. Give me Mr. Freeze. Give me someone that's like in a whole 180 degree in the other direction, because I want to see how he deals with other types of villains. A bulking villain, a hardcore aggressive villain, a smart villain, a psychotic villain, which would eventually be the Joker. I wouldn't say the Joker would be even like a Solomon Grundy. Can you imagine a movie with Solomon Grundy where it's just Batman versus Solomon Grundy? That'd be fucking cool. It's like the Batman fighting the Hulk, but the Hulk is like really dumb. I mean, I would like to see just a movie based on that. But so far we've gotten a lot of like Jokers on Jokers on Jokers. I kind of don't want to see the Joker for a little bit. I wouldn't mind seeing a Joker film later on, but like right now I just want to see some of the other rogue gallery. That's me, myself. Where does this put DC? Like, is this a good thing or a bad thing for them to redo everything?
It's something they have to do. I don't know whether you want to call it a good thing or a bad thing. It's just something that they have to do. Like trying to worry about whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, we're way past that. Obviously, it wasn't working whatever they were doing before, so they have to change. So I just want them to do it. I want them to do it right. I think James Gunn, the more that I think about it, is a good hire. And
that's crazy because you were talking about how you were kind of like, holy shit, like they didn't choose The Rock.
No, honestly, I don't have a dog in this fight at all.
Race,
like,
yeah.
I just know that from what I had read that he was under the impression that he was up for the job. So the fact that, I think it was on the, it was in the balance on whether or not Black Adam could sell. And we got the answers to that.
Mr. Vince.
So that's that.
And the other thing that I heard too is the acquisition of Discovery with HBO and all this stuff. They're going to be revamping the streaming service.
Yeah,
so
we talked about it.
Huh?
So yeah, we talked about it. They're gonna drop like the HBO. Like the HBO is gonna phase out.
And I think what they're going to go with is they're going to just be calling themselves Max.
Yeah.
So they're going to get rid of the HBO name. And I think I was watching some podcasts that they were like, how crazy is that? Like HBO is like that's a legacy name. Like when you hear HBO, you know exactly what you're getting. And this person went off and said like, you're getting like the best in cinema when it comes to this. And I was like, fuck, I don't know, man. Like, I don't feel I feel like it's okay for them to change their name. I just don't feel like HBO is that synonymous for being like super crazy good anymore. Does that make sense?
I mean, it's HBO, dude. Like,
what's up, Mike? How you doing? Michael Betancourt in the comment section. Yeah, but they're going to be changing their streaming service to Max, so it's not going to be called HBO Max. It's not going to be called HBO. I figured they would have stayed with HBO, but yeah, that'll be coming in soon too, guys. So just make sure you are prepared. Right now, we were just talking about the DC scrapping everything, going off of a whole new reboot and all that stuff. We are now jumping in to the last part of our conversation. It's been a chill week this week, which is good for us, but apparently Marvel's got some pushbacks. So what happened was this past week, we heard Marvel is pushing a lot of their series back, a lot of their stuff back in 2024. The reason why is because of the situation that happened apparently with Marvel Phase 4.
How so?
I think that with a lot of the negativity that they were getting, I think they're going to be re-ramping a bunch of stuff. I think they're going to try to get away from a lot of the.
But why? Why would they feel like they need to revamp anything? I mean, they had $1 billion movie out of the group. Mm-hmm. They've had some movies that made some movie. Wasn't like Phase 4 was a complete disaster. So why would you feel
I wouldn't
like
say
they
it's
feel
a
like
complete disaster? I mean, for what it's worth, they're still making money. Was it the money that they were expecting? I really don't think so. And what I meant by that is like, I believe that they were expecting a whole lot more for the Wakanda Forever movie. They were really expecting to hit like a banger, like the way the first movie did. And I don't think it met that requirement that they wanted. And I think that's why they're getting rid of this guy, Bob Chapek, and bringing him back in Bob Iger. This goes back to that idea. Michael Betancourt says it really solid in the comment section where he says it's quality over quantity. I think Bob Chapek was just pumping out as much stuff as he could. A lot of streaming service material, just trying to make sure that they were making the money somewhere. And I don't really know what the numbers are like with the streaming service, but maybe it picked up for where the movies were lacking this year. And when they add it all together, maybe it makes the funds that they were needing. But I really don't think that they were making it. And I really think that they saw it in Phase 4 more than any other phase. So they're going to go back. They're going to bring in Bob Iger. I think they're going to switch up a lot of stuff. And they're going to try to see if they can take it back a couple notches. We saw to me, it's still fucking crazy that whatever it is that they were doing and pushing on these agendas and these movies, it got a person like Chris Hemsworth to come out and finally speak out about it and literally try in the nicest way to say that he doesn't like how they're handling his character. And the reason why I say that is because he's out there. First off, he came out and talked about the condition that he was told that he might get, right? That he's streamlined into the idea of getting Alzheimer's because it was his parents. They did like this genetic test and the doctors were even telling him, hey, don't freak out. Like this is a very, very, very hardcore test. Like we can figure out some crazy shit, but don't freak out. And then when they found out that both of his parents were susceptible to Alzheimer's and that he has or dementia or one of those, and that he has a high possibility of getting it. And it reminded me of an old cartoon where it was at high school where they used to have like all like the weird genius characters. They had like Albert Einstein as a character, Abraham Lincoln as a character. Do you remember that in MTV? They said there's like this funny show.
No,
it was pretty good. The kid goes to a doctor and the doctor tells him, well, son, I need to tell you, you have ADHD. And the guy turns around and goes, oh my God, I have so much to live for. And the doctor goes, what? He goes, yeah, I don't know how much time I have, but I got so much things I got to do. And he's like, no, you have ADHD. Clone High. Yeah, Michael Betancourt knows Clone High. And he's like, no, you have ADHD. Like, it's cool. And he's like, I got so little time there. So then he's like, I got to go, doctor. And he leaves. And I kind of feel like that's what happened to Chris Hemsworth. He just got overwhelmed by this and was like, I got to change my life right now. And then when he realized it, he was like, but you know what? I'm not happy with what they're doing. Like everyone loves Thor. That's a huge character to be playing in the Marvel Universe. And for him to literally say, I just don't want to be working with mad geniuses anymore. He's literally taking a pop shot at Taika Waititi. He's taking a pop shot at the director, saying he doesn't want to be treated like that. He doesn't want to be working with someone like that. He wants to be respected like the other stories. He wants a character that can actually not looks dumb. I mean, the character of Thor, like that was, I mean, his character, I mean, yeah, Thor Ragnarok was one of the good ones. And the comedy was just right. But for it to continue to down spiral into the way that they handled his character, I think a lot of these people are just tired of the way they're being treated as actors. So, like, I mean,
see that. I can see that. But I mean, I don't have anything bad to say about Chris Helmsworth. If he needs a break, take a fucking break. Like you put in,
he does a lot of work.
You put in a lot of work, dude. So go take a break. I'm not mad at that. If he decides that he wants to do movies without Taika Waititi, I'm all for it. If he feels like he wants to do movies with Taika Waititi, I'm for that as well. Yes, you hit the nail on it going all the way back. You definitely hit the nail on the head. It's going to be more of a quality versus quantity, and I like that approach. That's the reason why, of what I'm reading, that's the reason why a lot of these things are getting pushed back, is because they don't want to overflood the market with and I think that's where they went wrong in phase 4. The launching of Disney Plus and all of the shows on Disney Plus, that was a lot of Marvel to consume.
A lot of content.
It was a lot of Marvel to consume. So they're just gonna want to scale back, and I'm all for it. Scale it back.
And you know what?
Scale
It's kind of crazy because, I mean, this was a good attempt on them trying to go back to what it was that they were trying to push before the pandemic, which is they wanted to have, I don't know if you remember, they wanted like 3 or 4 movies a year. They had a really hardcore schedule with the way that they wanted movies to be coming out. And since they couldn't get it at that scale where they were doing it by films, them being able to push it back and getting less money or funding for it and going to the streaming service gave them opportunities to kind of work a little bit more with it. And then not only that, they can break down the content that they're putting out by each episode. So it gives them a really good opportunity for them to still be putting content out there, not as much as movies, but through the series themselves. But we saw that in phase 4, it really wasn't working too much. And I think it's because the content is so little to mediocre that it doesn't hit as much as a movie. Of course, it's not going to hit as much as a movie. But I think for them to go out and say, hey, guys, like I'm reading an article right now. It's on CBR. And it says, according to Noble Scooper Alex P., who worked with the Cosmic Circus, while the slate moving means having to wait longer for future projects to be released, it's ultimately for the sake of keeping quality over quantity, he added. And this part right here explains it and sums it up. Don't expect a 2022 schedule of at least one Marvel project each month. Stay true for 2023, 24. All he's saying is, like, don't expect to see as much as they pumped out in 2022. It's a little too much. And then, of course, like with all of that shit, we saw the degrading of the CG department in some of these films where they were being over pushed and overworked and underpaid. Right? Because they were, again, with as many jobs as were coming in, you know, it's got to be rough on these dudes. If they push it back a little bit, it's not going to be anything too crazy. It's going to be great. Because like we said, we're looking for quantity. We're looking for quality over quantity. I think that's perfect. Vince in the comments section says, I hope we get to see Shang-Chi Chu with a Fing Fang Foom as a villain, and we get Jackie Chan in the movie. Where would we put Jackie Chan in the movie? I'd like to see him as Fing Fang Foom, maybe the voice actor for him. That'd be pretty cool. I would love to see that. What do we see happening with Stage 4? What do we see happening with Stage 5 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Of course, we have Ant-Man Quantumania coming up. Jonathan Major is going to be playing the biggest villain. We've been hearing rumors. We heard the Marvels is going to be showing off some really important stuff. There's an actor named Pak something. He's like this Korean singer guy that's coming out. He's going to be playing an interesting role that I didn't see coming. He's going to be playing this character named Prince Yan, and Prince Yan is going to be apparently married to Carol Danvers. It's going to be like her husband from another planet, a dancing planet. What do we see happening into Marvel this coming year? Like, what do we see with this whole pushback? What do we got going on? Like, has there been anything out in the open about what's being pushed back?
I thought I don't think anything specific about what's been pushed back. I know what is it? Deadpool got pushed back. I think that's the only thing that I know for sure. Like this was news that you brought to me. I wasn't
Today, right?
exactly sure. Wasn't exactly sure what was being pushed back. The only thing I know for sure is that they definitely pushed back Deadpool. Anything else, I have no idea.
So as of now, I checked out right now. I just typed it in to see what we could find, and this was brought out. Oh, this was October. I mean, that's still fairly pretty close. Not mentioning with, yeah, I wouldn't even go off this list. This was probably the same list we talked about the last time. October. Yeah, really hasn't anything been released, so we haven't gotten an updated list of what films have been pushed back with Marvel or anything like that. So you guys make sure you pay attention and listen for that. Yeah, other than that, it's really pretty much just a chill week. What about you? You got anything else that we want to talk about? Anybody in the comment section have any questions that we want to talk about? You guys let us know real quick before we call it, because I think that's pretty much everything.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it wasn't that much traffic going on. Everything that we covered, that's all I saw.
I mean, it is interesting in the fact of what DC's doing, and I kind of feel like the reason why it's not a big surprise is because it's kind of something that we've all been wanting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's one of those things. Like I'm a strong believer in I've always wanted DC to just get it right, and with them acquiring James Gunn, him ending the Guardians of the Galaxy series, I kind of feel like he's a good aspect and a good property to bring into the DC universe to kind of fix it. Michael Betancourt asked, did we discuss the Video Games Awards and the guy that rushed the stage last night? So, did you hear about that?
No.
Apparently, this guy rushed the stage on the show last night to yell out Bill Clinton. Is that what he yelled at? I'm going to look this up real quick. Maybe Video Game Awards. Rushed stage. Let's see if we can find this.
So he just ran on stage and just yelled out Bill Clinton?
Yep.
Guy seemed like he was on a mission, so.
All right, here we go. All right, here we go. I totally forgot about that, Mike. That was super funny that you remember this shit.
Supported these titles. And we create the games we want to create and do our best because of you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hey, Matan. You know, real quick, I want to thank everybody and say that I think I want to nominate this award to my Reformed Orthodox Rabbi, Bill Clinton. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, some people clapped for him. That's great.
Yeah, they were like, oh, okay.
That's great.
All right. Well, the vet believed it. Congratulations.
Dude, so what? Yeah, I want to thank you. He said, Michael Betancourt said, yeah, his best friend, Bill Clinton, and some other madness. What's his story or what? Walks up on stage, dedicates award to Bill Clinton, refuses to elaborate, gets arrested. I mean, with the way things are nowadays, but like, yeah, George is like, Chris, I sent you that clip in HD. Like, I needed to see it any clearer, George. That's just like crazy already. But like, okay, but what's the story behind this kid? And I already know, and it's so sad that this kid's gonna be some kind of like stupid TikTok kid that's doing this shit for clout, because he seems like a super young kid, doesn't he?
He looked like it, yeah.
Yeah, he looked like fucking. That was bad business. I don't know, Mike. Is any type of publicity bad publicity? Like, this kid's gonna go out. He's gonna be the next meme. He's gonna be the next meme. The Video Game Awards have always been cringy. If it hasn't been for some weird handshake or some weird dance move that has some director of video games got to do, or some weird song or some weird action, the Video Games Awards have always had their moments of unclarity and memery. But this one's a little bit weird. Again, if there's anything that this proves, is that the security needs to be a little bit tighter, because that just means is it gives people the opportunity to run up on stage and 100% get fucking mic time. Because like dude, can you imagine if that was any other award ceremony that just some random dude ran up there and stood behind someone?
It's the video game awards, bro. No one's
it's a video game awards.
Who cares?
So Mike says, so for the kid, it's cool, but as an event coordinator, that was risky as fuck. Yes, it was. The software had their developers on stage, and it was very possibly dangerous. I really don't think it's dangerous, but yeah, that's fucking funny. I heard that kid's gonna get arrested. Well, that he got arrested, he was gonna get charged with some shit. Person rushed stage. Video game awards. Okay, let's see what this is about. Kid crashes the game awards during, I wouldn't say crash, during the game of the year. So a teenager crashed the game awards stage Thursday night to interrupt Elden Ring's developer celebrating the night game of the year's awards. Los Angeles Police Department Public Information Officer Matthew Cruz told Polygon that the person was detained at a 700 block of Chick Hearn Court for a theatrical exhibition, the Microsoft Center where the event was being held. The stage crasher told Polygon in an interview that his name is Maten Evans and that he's 15 years old. And at the Microsoft Center, he was.
He's a legend. He's a 15-year-old kid. He's a legend.
Yeah,
that was awesome. That just made it like 10 times. That just made it 10 times more cool, bro. He was a kid. That's a fucking legend move. That's a boss move. I like it.
But is it like? I don't think it's a good thing that this kid just goes off and rushes the stage like that.
So what?
Because we all know why he's doing it. It's his 15 seconds of fame or 6 seconds of fame.
So let him get it.
He wants to go and troll or cloud or whatever he wants to do.
So let him do it. Why not?
This literally puts into perspective that every other fucking kid's going to do the same shit at every other award ceremony.
So does that mean they don't have to do it? You obviously see that if you do it, you're going to get arrested. So if you want to go get arrested,
he's not going to get arrested. He'll be
you just said he got it. So that's arrested.
Yeah, but he's 15. It's not going to do anything.
There's something called juvenile detention. You can go to juvenile detention. It's not like you're immune or you have immunity from all criminal activities from going to jail because you're 15. They will lock you up too. And sometimes juvenile detention is worse than some fucking prisons. So if that's what you're willing to risk, then go for it. And it's not like this kid would be the martyr that set that off. It's because of the clout chasing that the environment that we're in anyway. This kid, it's a 15-year-old kid, man. It's all right.
So he was quickly moved off stage. Not really. He walked off stage. He was not actually part of the group being honored. Security personnel appeared to cut the teen off, then take him off stage. The intruder then was taken backstage and questioned, and then taken to the Microsoft Center to a local police station and in an LAPD car. Shortly after the incident, Kaylee closed the show. Kaylee, which I'm guessing is the host, and he was looking a little bit rattled. Minutes later, he tweeted that the individual who interrupted our Game of the Year moment has been arrested.
Yeah, he's going to jail.
I think you have Twitter, dude. You should look up Mateen Evan, dude.
I'm not that interested in this shit, dude. I'm be honest with you, man. I don't care about this 15-year-old kid that got locked up on fucking that's this fucking video game. I'm gonna be honest with you. I can care less, man. I take your word for it, man.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think this kid's gonna create himself into a meme. He'll use that for some culture jumping and be up there with a little bit of clout from it. He'll be that kid. And
if it gets him his 15 minutes of fame, hats off to him.
Yeah.
And I hope he does something good with it. I hope he's able to fucking get rich and feed his family off of the shit. I'm all for it, man. Fuck it.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah.
Yo, dude, we grew up in the times of Jackass and people just doing obscene shit, and we're worried about a fucking kid, a 15-year-old kid shouting out Bill Clinton at the video game awards. Come on, guys. Come on, bro. This is not the generation I grew up with. We grew up on Jackass. Come on.
Rabbi Bill Clinton? What does it mean by rabbi? This is some, yeah, there's interesting stuff. The kid approached the mic and referred to Bill Clinton as his rabbi. What the fuck? I don't know. I'll have to get into this some other time. But yeah, if there's anything else in the comment section, guys, let us know before we end up calling it a night. Brian, what do you got planned for the weekend?
Nothing, man. I'm gonna chill, pack some more stuff, get ready to move. That's about it, man. I can't wait till this is over. It's been a pain in my butt, and I'm ready for it to be over.
The apartment
what
stuff?
about yourself? Yep. What about yourself, man?
For this weekend, I believe I got two things that I'll hopefully be able to make it to. We have the Nightmare Before Christmas event, which is going on this weekend in Mission, Texas at the event center. It's going to be a Nightmare Before Christmas themed convention. Really cool stuff. I believe they're bringing like this puppeteer guy that's doing like a 8 foot tall Jack Skellington with stilts and all of this cool stuff. We got, a lot of family event kind of stuff, events, bingo, all that stuff. It's going to be a pretty cool weekend. And then of course we have Josh Widowmaker from Sonic Boom, who has his birthday party this weekend at Ham's Game House in Harlingen. So we'll be out there just hanging out with the boys, chilling out, doing some game stuff.
Nice.
Super excited. Elizabeth says this weekend in San Antonio, the gentleman that plays Gurr from Invader Zim will be out there doing autographs this weekend. That's my plan.
Nice.
What event, Elizabeth? What event is he doing? Let us know in the comment section. Yeah, other than that, it's been a very, very cool week. It's been very chill. Been very light on any of the information. Other than that, nothing really else going out in nerd news. Yeah, I guess we'll call it there, Brian. I told you we're going to try to get it to 11
Sounds
today.
good, man.
Yeah,
hey,
so
man, listen, guys. Yo, I don't know if you guys realize, but I hit like a certain block and I just get like shut down because I'd be tired as fuck. It's over here on the East Coast. It's like 1 o'clock by the time we're wrapping up. I am beat. So yeah, I asked Chris, I'm like, Chris, yo, we gotta start shooting this shit up. Like we'll be talking about something just to be talking and making it 3 hours. I'm like, bro, this is brutal. So yeah, man, we're cut straight to the point, hit the topics, engage. Listen, we'll go as long as you guys are with us, but thank you, Chris.
Yeah, I got some interesting stuff I want to plan out in the next couple of weeks that I want to try here on the show with you. So it'd be pretty cool. But I do have to say, I don't know if anybody's ever realized this, but Brian being on the show is such a blessing. Like, I love this dude. Brian, you're such a badass motherfucker. Like, I love you, dude. But I always feel bad because I never take into consideration the time difference between where Brian is and where we are. And I don't know if anyone here, because most of the people here are from here. I don't know if you realize this on how much a trooper.
Yeah, about
Brian
1:30 in the morning and shit.
Time we end the show,
I'll be tired as hell.
It's 1 a.m. where Brian is.
My old ass.
So
Yeah, man.
When Brian told me this, it didn't even fucking click the time change and where he was at. Like, I was always like, I just assumed Central Time. So I'm always like, oh, okay, cool. Midnight. We're good. No, but it's an hour. Brian's an hour.
Yeah. I'm like, so 1 o'clock. I was like,
fuck, dude. So last week we talked
double
about
shift.
We're going to be pushing the show here in our time at 11 o'clock. So that way we get Brian to bed, hopefully. Well, not by bed, but just at least relaxing by midnight, a normal weekend time. But like I said, guys, give some props to Brian. He's such a soldier, fucking pushing since the beginning of time that he's been with us, all the way till fucking past midnight for us into 1 o'clock in the morning.
Honestly, I can't even really like talk shit because like this is truly, honestly, this is fun for me. And just being able to talk with all you guys, Vince, Mike, Liz, Rob, everybody, George, everybody, you guys are amazing. Yeah, you guys are amazing. So you guys make it easy. I don't mind being up to 1 o'clock, but some nights it might just be a little nice to get out like around midnight. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, some nights
Elizabeth, before we go, says it's just a random pop-up event at a place called Pure Joy Toys. Shout out to Pure Joy Toys. Elizabeth, if you get out there, tell Gurr we say we love him. The boys from the Average Show podcast, and if he ever wants to be on the show, let us know. Michael Betancourt, the man, the myth, the legend, says, I feel you. With the doctorate program, they run off Cali time. So a 7 p.m. for them is a 9 p.m. for me. Yep.
Yikes.
Straight up. But you're gonna get that shit done, Mike. And we're gonna be talking to a dude that's a professional fantasy hero doctor. I don't even know. It's the doctor of fantasy characters. That's so cool. Guys, we want to say thank you so much for tuning into the show. We appreciate every one of you. To our extraordinary listeners, we appreciate every one of you. We love you. We hope you guys are doing good. Have a safe weekend. Be cool. Brian, have a safe weekend.
You too.
Get that prep ready for that move.
Yeah,
and then hopefully
kid.
we would see some badass background with wallpapers and all that. Fucking
I'm not gonna lie to you. It's gonna look like struggle nation. It's gonna look struggle nation in the beginning. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's not gonna be pretty, but you guys will be on the journey with
Boji
me.
on it, man. With the man that lives right here, man. My little king. I'm telling you, man. This is such a great anime.
Okay,
yeah, I love that anime.
Nice.
Ranking of the Kings. It's so good. Guys, thank you so much to our extraordinary listeners. Thank you guys for tuning in again for an awesome Friday. We'll see you guys again here next Friday, 9 p.m. here on the Average Boys Podcast. Have a good weekend. Peace. Boom.